In this tutorial, I show you how to fix a hacked site. It's taken me a while to make this video because I needed a site that was hacked that I also have access to, so I can show you step by step how I fix it. And I've done that, and this is that video. And this is something you can do for your clients and charge them a lot of money, frankly. You can charge up to $500 or more to recover a hacked site. And you see in this video, it's actually not that difficult. And if your client has backups of their website, it's even easier. Either way, we're going to fix a hacked site right now. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. It's Bjorn from WPLearningLab, where we help you get better at WordPress so you can earn more for yourself, for your clients, and for your business. If it's your first time here and you like WordPress and you like learning hacks and tricks and all kinds of stuff to help you get better at it, hit subscribe, then hit the bell icon so you don't miss anything. And with that out of the way, let's head in the screen capture and start this WordPress tutorial. I'll see you there. It finally happened. I've been waiting a long time to make a tutorial like this because I think it's really helpful and really useful for you guys. But in order for this to happen, I had to have a site hacked. And now I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix that hack. This site was hacked. This factorx.co was a site that we were working on with a business partner a while ago. We kind of left this one be for a while, so we're working on something else. But this one, in the meantime, was outdated, had some kind of plugin. Somebody got in and hacked it. And InMotion Hosting quarantined the hacked site once they detected it was hacked, and they put up just this directory of these three files with no real information except for the php info.php, which seems like it gives away a lot of information about the server. I'm not sure why they'd want that to be publicly visible. But either way, this is what appeared when they took the site down. Now I'm going to show you how I'm going to get the site back up. Keep in mind that your site might look different. It might be defaced, it might still be here. Maybe just your login is broken. I have another tutorial linked to in the card above that shows you how to log in or create a new login for your site when you don't have access through the site itself and the hacker has changed your email address or deleted your user so you can't use forgot password. I show you how to make a username right in the database so you can log into your site again. But that's not this tutorial. This tutorial is recovering a hacked site that's been taken down by the host. If we go into our hosting account and head into File Manager, there's a really good chance you can't get here through FTP. So the website normally is in public_HTML. This is the root folder that your FTP would probably load. And what InMotion does is they quarantine your site, here's the quarantine, into a folder that's below the root. And this is actually the entire site. I can go ahead and open this folder and copy all the contents back into the public_HTML, and the site's back up. But before I do that, I'm going to investigate and do a little cleanup. So the first thing I want to do is select all the files in here, and I'm going to compress them. I'm going to make a backup of all the files, including the hacked files, on the site. So I'm going to call this quarantined backup. We can call it hacked backup as well. Just going to wait for that zip file to be created. Zip file is done. We have the results here. If we reload, we'll have our zip file here. I'm just going to download it to my hard drive, just so I have a backed up copy of the entire site, because this site still works. If I don't back it up and I delete the wrong things, I have no backup of the quarantine site. So it's always good to make a backup even of the hacked version of the site. And now I'm going to look through some of the most common areas where hackers insert files or inject files. And the first thing I see is this lead.php. It's not a file that I've ever used. There might be some custom stuff that you do have in the root of your site, but I know that I never had lead.php, and it's a very big file, 22 kilobytes. Whereas index, being a WordPress file, even this is too big, this has probably been edited too, but that's only 583 bytes. Quite often the hacked files are very large. Like even this login.php, it probably shouldn't be that big. But we're going to open this lead.php, just select it, click on edit, and hacked files or files with malware in them have very clear signatures, and one of them is it looks like gibberish. If you try to read this function, it looks like gibberish. There's no way that the person who didn't write this can figure out what's going on without spending hours studying it. Whereas if you look at a regular WordPress file, let's try this one. See if this one's uncompromised. This one looks pretty good. There's comments at the top explaining what this file is about. The functions are named in ways that kind of describe what they do. The URLs make sense. There's comments all throughout to to document the file and help you figure out what's going on. Not so much in this file. The entire thing is just a big pile of gibberish. So I'm going to go ahead and select it and delete it, because I'm fairly certain that is not a solid WordPress file that needs to be there. Now, I've seen the WordPress core files a lot, so all of these I've seen a lot over the years. If you're not sure which one of these are actual core files, just go to wordpress.org. Let's just go there right now. And then click on download, and then click on download right here. That's going to download a zip to your hard drive. You can unzip it and compare the files in that folder to the files that you have here. You can even compare the file sizes if you wanted to. So let's go into another common area where hackers inject stuff, and that's the WP content folder. Sometimes in the plugins, this index file, maybe. You can just click on edit and look at these things. If they look suspicious, this one's not. Silence is gold, unless it's just a regular index file. It's also very small, only 28 bytes. This one also is probably the same thing. If we go into themes, some of our themes might have hacked stuff in them, but it's very hard to root through all the theme files. But we found that lead.php file, which might have been causing all the problems. And something I should have done before I deleted it was look at the date stamp, because that would have helped identify possible files that were edited at the same time, because you have your date, your last modified date in this column here. And sometimes you just don't know exactly what's been edited, and you don't want to spend time looking through it all. So what I often do is I go to wordpress.org, download a new version of WordPress, and I'm going to replace all of the core files. So I downloaded the file down here, the zip file. I'm going to open it in a folder, going to unzip it. There's a video coming soon right there. All right, so we have our WordPress folder right here with the unzipped files, and I am going to zip it up again. I know it sounds weird, but I'm going to zip it up again. What we're going to do is replace all of the core files. So inside our file manager, the core files are contained within WP-admin, WP-admin, WP-includes, and more often than not, all these files out here are the core files. WP-content is where you have your themes, your plugins, your uploaded images, all your media. It all goes into here. So we're not going to replace that, and we're not going to replace WP-config, which contains our database information. Unless you want to delete it here and then rebuild that file, we can do that too, just in case there's some weird stuff. Now, so I'm going to quickly open this in the editor. See if it has some weird stuff in the config file. Let's quickly scroll through. It all looks pretty legit in here. So our config file is probably fine, so I'm not going to delete that one. I'm going to delete everything else. And because we have a backup, I'm not afraid at all. If we didn't have a backup, I'd be a little worried. But what I'm about to do right here, see what this folder is. Empty. Oops. But since there's a backup, I'm totally fine just coming in here, selecting all these things and hitting delete. Even bypassing the trash. Completely gone. Now what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to come in here and select all these files except for WP-content. WP-config-sample is in here, which we don't have to upload. But WP-config would not be, because you create that when you install WordPress. I'm just going to zip up all these files. I'm going to upload them to this folder here. So I'm just going to drag and drop this into the dash box to upload it. Once this uploaded, we can close this tab and then reload our file area. Now we have our zip file here. We're going to extract it. Now we have our new files. We've got the Mac OS X dealie up here. We can delete that. We can delete the archive. And now we have only files in here, excluding WP-content. We're not sure what's in there. But in all the other files, we only have files that are part of the core. We should be fairly safe to copy this over to the main area into public_HTML. So these files that they put in here for us, I'm just going to put these into a new folder. I'm just going to call this, I don't know, host files, I guess. Create that folder, drag and drop all those guys in there. Take all these files, select all of them. See if I can drag and drop them right there. I can. Now they're back to our main site. Now I'm going to come out here and refresh this page and see what happens. Could be magic. It's not magic. We have an error in Badge OS plugin. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to deactivate all the plugins. Go into WP-content, go to the plugins file, change its name to old or off, refresh this page again. Now we're getting somewhere. We have Visual Composer code here. Visual Composer is a plugin that we just turned off, so clearly it can't render the content. But the site is back online. It's not defaced, at least not on this page. Let's see if these pages work. We have to reset our permalinks. Those will work after permalink reset. Let's see if we can log into this thing. There's the login page. See if we can get into the admin area. Cross your fingers. Here's the admin area. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and first reset the permalinks. So let's go to settings and then permalinks, and then I'm just going to scroll right to the bottom, click on save changes. Now if I go back out to the front, that should fix the deep linking or the non-homepage links that weren't loading a second ago. If we go to about, this page should load now. It does. Again, Visual Composer code that will load in a second when we turn that plugin on. Services, testimonials, all these things are loading now. Now let's go back into our file manager and change the name of the plugins folder back to what it should be. You can actually leave it as -old and activate all the plugins, but it's weird. So I always change the name back. It's not required to activate the plugins, I just do it. Let's go to plugins and then install plugins. And now we have an issue here, again with the Badge OS plugin. So why don't we try just renaming Badge OS and see if that fixes this Badge OS problem. That might have been the plugin that was compromised. Pro Panel, which is a Learn Dash plugin. That one's now throwing an error. There's the Pro Panel. I guess -off would be a better one than -old, but as long as you know what it is that you change the name to, those two plugins are deactivated. They're both throwing errors. We deactivated them. Now the page loads again. Now we can activate plugins, update plugins. There's a couple to be updated. That was likely part of the problem as to why this issue occurred. So I'm just going to select all, click on update. Even though they don't all have updates, it's going to update the ones that do have updates. So I'm just going to wait for these to all update. And also you notice they're activated again because I changed the folder name from plugins old back to plugins. And once these are updated, we should be able to go back to the home page, refresh the page, and it should load as it was designed to load because Visual Composer, or once this update happens, it's going to be called WP Bakery Page Builder. And this is actually not an automatic update, so I got to download this update from Code Canyon, which I'm not going to bore you with. I have a whole playlist on this plugin actually, where I can bore you with getting the plugin from Code Canyon. But for this tutorial, I'm actually not even going to update it, see if the site works without updating it, because the point of this video is to show you how to recover the hacked site. And if the site loads, then that was a success. Okay, so 7 updates successful, 1 failed, which is WP Bakery, because it's not an automatic update. Let's refresh this home page and see what happens. Look at that. All the content is back. Everything is as it should be. Let's go to About. There's the About page. No Visual Composer text. Just all content how we want it to appear. Services. Testimonials. It's all good. The site is back online. Plugins have been updated. We had an error in these 2 plugins. So if we go back to here, let's just change these names back. These will likely break the site right now. Let's just try it. So it wasn't actually those plugins that broke the site, possibly. Let's just activate I'm going to activate all these BadgeOS ones. It might have been that other plugins were outdated and they conflicted. That might have been the problem. But when we try to activate BadgeOS, we get a big old error. So this is one of the plugins that was causing the problem. Probably led to a hack. Let's just try activating ProPanel. Might throw another error, and it does. So those two plugins are the cause of the problem. So I'm going to have to go out and find the newer versions of these and see if that helps. So let's find BadgeOS. BadgeOS is a free plugin, or at least the one I was using on the site is the free version. So let's just get that from the repository. Download it from here. And the ProPanel plugin is from LearnDash. Log into my LearnDash account. I haven't logged into this account in ages, so hopefully it still works. License notice. License about to expire. But it's not expired yet, so let's see if we can download these plugins. Oh, it has expired. Why didn't it auto-renew? I always set stuff to auto-renew. Anyway, clearly I have to renew this before this will work. But let's do this BadgeOS one first. We're in the plugins folder here. I'm going to upload a plugin. And it is this one right here. It's going to drag and drop it into the dash box. I can close this once it's uploaded, reload this page. I'm going to turn this one off, the original BadgeOS. And then I'm going to unzip this one, the one we just uploaded. Now we have that new version of the BadgeOS. You'll notice that this one, the one we just downloaded from the repository, was last modified November 7th, 2017. And this one was modified November 17th. So I wonder if that's when the hack happened. And I notice the timestamp November 17th appears on this plugin, this one. So it might be wise for me to just go ahead and replace all of these plugins, just in case there's some backdoor installed on one of them. Let's see what happens with this BadgeOS. See if we can activate it. Because it should be a new, clean version, unless it's tied to something else that's not working right. All right, so now let's activate it. Let's activate these two as well. See if that still works. Oh, this plugin activated of... Oh, did I try to do that one? Hold on. Let's try this one again. I might have tried that one. Wasn't paying attention. Because that's the old one. This is the old one that we are replacing at this point. So now we have all our BadgeOS plugins installed. We can delete this one that we turned off because that one is somehow compromised. I have to renew my LearnDash subscription, and then I will be able to install ProPanel again. Or maybe ProPanel, maybe the problem was caused by that buddy or that BadgeOS one. I'm going to try activating it again, see what happens. Yeah, no, it's not caused by BadgeOS. It's somehow compromised. So I need to get the new version of that. Let's just refresh this page and come back out to here and confirm everything still works. Let's just go to the home page. Everything's back online. So we have now recovered our hacked site. And my game plan, I'm not going to bore you with it, with the actual details. My game plan is replace the ProPanel add-on for LearnDash, update WP Baker Visual Composer, and then everything is back up to date. Latest version of WordPress, because we got that from their site and replaced all the files manually. And now our hacked site is recovered. I do still want to keep an eye on it for a little while to see if something goes wrong. Some of these plugins in here that have the same timestamp as that BadgeOS one had, the modified timestamp, they may be compromised. So I'm going to go ahead and replace all of these ones that have the same timestamp. In fact, I'm just going to replace all the plugins. It doesn't take long to just make a list of plugins you have, delete them, and replace them. Well, actually, that's not true. It might take long depending what those plugins are, because sometimes when you delete them, it deletes all their data from the database. So you may be best served to do what I did here, which was go to the repository, download the plugins, and then upload them to here. rename the folder of the old plugin, upload the new fresh one, and then you don't have to delete them, but they're all replaced with newer versions. That's the whole game plan, and we just recovered the hacked site in 20 minutes or less. So that's all there is to it. I hope this video helps you. If you haven't done so yet, hit subscribe, then hit the bell icon so you don't miss anything. And next up is clicking one of these videos that popped up on the right-hand side so you can get even better at WordPress. And until next time, keep crushing it, and I will see you in the next video.